YouTube, what's going on? This the AK, Mr. 530, better known as the Atheist Killer. I did a video a few days ago titled 3 Questions That Atheists Cannot Answer. For some reason, a lot of atheists got confused, so I thought I'd take that video down and do a new video where I go into more detail, so that is what we're going to do right now. Everybody already knows that I can disprove STE and scpncu with logic, reason, science, mathematics, evidence, etc. However, let's put that all aside for this particular video. Before you attempt to answer these 3 questions that I'm about to ask you, you must admit, since our universe does exist, that either something is eternal in the past without beginning or something came from pure nothingness. Let me repeat myself. Everyone must admit, everyone, that since the universe exists, that either something is eternal in the past without beginning, or something came from pure nothingness. Those are your only 2 options. If you cannot be honest enough to admit this truth, don't even try to answer my 3 questions, because I do not have time to deal with your pathetic, illogical nonsense. So let's get right into this. Question number 1, number uno. If something can come from pure nothingness, why doesn't it happen all the time? What mechanism allowed it to occur once and then prevents it from occurring again? William Lane Craig puts it like this. If something could come from nothing, then it's inexplicable why everything or anything doesn't come from nothing. For example, why don't bicycles or root beer just pop into being uncaused out of nothing? There can't be anything about nothingness that favors universes, because nothingness has no properties. So what makes nothingness so discriminatory, atheists? What makes it so discriminatory that only universes are allowed to pop into being from nothingness? I mean, nothingness cannot be constrained by anything because there is nothing to be constrained, right? So question number 1 is really for the atheist who accepts scpncu or a pure nothingness type of hypothesis. This brings us to question number 2. If atheists don't accept a pure nothingness type of hypothesis or scpncu, then they must accept some form of STE. This includes oscillating universe theory, a cyclical universe, big crunch, string theory, multi-universe theory, etc. All of which I can thoroughly destroy and disprove. But just for the sake of this video, let's not get into that. I just want you right now to imagine for a moment something eternal in the past, without beginning, without a mind, cannot design or decide to create. It never began to exist. It just always was, without beginning, eternally just sitting there with no mind. No one or nothing created it. Tell me, why was it there in the first place? It didn't come from anywhere. No one gave it its properties. It didn't come from anyone or anything. Nothing designed it. It was just there. But why was that mindless whatever just sitting there? Meaning, why was there something like a singularity or energy or matter in the first place instead of pure nothingness? This is the age-old question of, really, why is there something rather than nothing? If we are talking about God, the answer is easy. Because if there's an all-knowing, all-powerful mind who wants to create, then that would be his own free will, and the reason anything began to exist at all. But if there is no God, and we're talking about something without a mind, eternally just sitting there, why does it exist at all? And why did it create? And why does it exist instead of pure nothingness? This is question number 2. Question number 3. If you accept the Big Bang model to be true, which many atheists do, then tell me why all of a sudden, for no reason, and if you think there was a reason, you can tell me what that reason was, but tell me why all of a sudden, for no reason, without any outside influence, that a singularity would expand, and in doing so, create an entire universe, full of laws, constants, life, water, air, matter, everything. Beyond the fact that it seems patently absurd to the everyday logical mind, I must ask, this is really question number 3 right here, what change occurred that made the singularity expand? In other words, how did it go from its non-expanding state to the point where it does expand? Something had to change, and that's what I want to know. This is question number 3. So let me break this down for you because the last video I did, which I took down, it didn't go into enough detail. So I'm going to do a quick little recap of all 3 questions just so you really know what I'm asking. Question number 1 again. If you are an scpncu or a person that believes something can come from pure nothingness, tell me why pure nothingness is discriminatory. And just for the record, it's my own personal stance and opinion that pure nothingness can never be achieved, but really that's irrelevant because my opinions do not matter right now. I'm the one asking the questions. Question number 2. If you believe something was eternal in the past without beginning, the only other choice besides a pure nothingness hypothesis, tell me why did this thing exist rather than pure nothingness? And don't say it's because the same reason God exists. That type of response would fail for at least 4 reasons right off the bat that I can think of. First of all, because it's not answering the question, something I predicted you could not and would not do. Secondly, you cannot answer a question with a question. Thirdly, the fact that we are here talking about it and I'm making this video is a good enough reason to believe that some kind of a mind or creative process must have existed instead of pure nothingness. Meaning, we are a species that is here and able to contemplate our own existence. So the fact that we do exist in such a complex fashion would be good enough reason to assume a God or supernatural mind existed instead of pure nothingness. On the flip side, why would an eternal singularity or energy or matter that cannot think or plan or design or have knowledge exist rather than pure nothingness? What's the answer to that question? Essentially saying that we're nothing more than a random accident of chance. In which case, why would pure nothingness not have existed instead of that something? There's no good answer. But you can please try and feel free to answer if you'd like. And finally, I'm the one asking the questions right now, so don't worry about my opinions anyway. Don't worry about my positions or my stance. This is my question for you. So try to answer it. Question number 3. If you are a proponent of the Big Bang Theory, then tell me what made the singularity go from its non-expanding state to its expanding state. The atheist will undoubtedly say that there was no time before the singularity in the Big Bang model, before it expanded, that there was no time. Well, I can prove that that's false, and I can destroy anyone who wants to make such an absurd claim. But let's not get into all that right now. Let's just keep it simple. If the singularity is eternal in the past, without beginning, even if it were timeless, I'm just going to grant you that just for this, and the universe itself began to exist some 14 billion years ago, what change occurred inside of the singularity that caused it to expand? For all intents and purposes of this question, you can assume that time began at the first moment of the expansion, but you still must admit it was in a non-expanding state and then went to its expanding state. So what changed? These are 3 questions that I feel you cannot and will not be able to answer. I am the Atheist Killer. Don't forget to stop by COL Creationism and the Origin of Life and Blue House Apologetic Society Facebook page. I love y'all. I'll see y'all soon. If you think you can defeat me, look, accept my debate challenge. It's not that hard. Or come on the page and try to answer the golden question or maybe one of these 3 questions. I'll see you soon. Defeating atheism is fun and it's easy. Come learn how to do it today. I'm the Atheist Killer. See you soon. We're out of here, man. Peace.